What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure 1994 here. It is Sunday, September 25th, 2022. And this is my update regarding Tropical Storm Ian. So, it's expected to make landfall Tuesday morning on the west coast of Cuba. And it's expected to make landfall in Florida on Friday morning. So there's a hurricane warning and a tropical storm warning put out for Cuba, and it's expected to make landfall in Florida on Friday morning. And the state of Florida has already put out a state of emergency regarding Ian. And a lot of models are agreeing that Ian could make landfall in the Florida Panhandle. And if it makes landfall in the Panhandle, we could be looking at a strong hurricane since Hurricane Michael, which was catastrophic for Florida. This thing is expected to rapidly intensify into a major hurricane, whether a Cat 3 or a Cat 4. So this is pretty concerning, guys. This is the first strong hurricane to hit Florida since Hurricane Dorian in 2019, and I really have a feeling that Disney and Universal and SeaWorld might have to do an emergency closing regarding this hurricane. So the Euro is suggesting that it makes a more east turn, and the American model is suggesting that it makes a more northward turn and possibly make landfall in the Panhandle or Alabama. So if you guys live in Cuba or Florida or Georgia or Alabama, you need to be on high alert for this thing. This is a very concerning situation right here. And we could be looking at a serious disaster pretty soon. This thing has a lot of ocean ahead of it before it makes landfall in Cuba. But they're suggesting that this thing is going to become a major hurricane. And this is probably going to weaken to a Cat 2 or Cat 1 once it makes landfall in Florida. So if it makes landfall in the Panhandle, we could be looking at a serious disaster for the Panhandle since Hurricane Michael. So everyone in this area needs to be on high alert. And I suggest the East Coast needs to be on high alert too. So get everything you need for this thing, and I hope everyone's getting prepared like right now. I know Florida just got started with being prepared, and I bet they know what to do when it comes to hurricanes. And hopefully, best case scenario, this thing weakens pretty fast before it reaches the Northeast. But if it makes landfall in Alabama and the Panhandle, it could do a lot more destruction to the eastern side of the United States. So we really need to watch this thing. I mean, either way, this thing is not good. It's not good either way. Nobody is getting out of the woods with this thing. Yeah, so not everyone's safe from this thing. So we really need to keep our eye on this thing. The tropics are heating up quick. And this thing is going to go into the Gulf of Mexico. And the Gulf of Mexico has a lot of fuel in the ocean. And has a lot of warm waters in it. So it's going to put enough fuel to rapidly intensify this Hurricane Ian. And what's so funny about this thing is that it's another I name, and most of the I names in hurricanes cause more disasters than any other letter, but it doesn't really matter. But the funniest thing is that it always has to be the I name. I mean, if I name hurricanes keep causing all this damage and they have to retire these names, they're gonna run out of I names. I can tell you that. Yeah, it's crazy how it always has to be an I name. That's to cause damage along the United States. So if you live in Florida or along the East Coast or the Gulf of Mexico, you really need to keep your eye on this thing. You really need to be on high alert and get prepared like right now, because this is going to get pretty hairy. You guys don't have that much time left. I mean, Cuba has a lot of ocean ahead of it before it makes landfall, but time is running out for them. You really need to get what you need, like, pronto. So I will be keeping an eye on this thing for you guys. And let me show you this that's been happening yesterday and the day before. There were 4 named storms out in the ocean the other day. They had Fiona, Gaston, Hermine, and Ian. Now Hermine and Fiona are gone, but now we have Gaston and Ian. And we have this disturbance right here. So Hermine went near the Canary Islands and Gaston passed the Azores. Fiona just passed Canada, and Ian's about to make landfall in Cuba. So we really need to keep our eye on the tropics, and this shows you guys how crazy it's getting in the tropics. It's really going to heat up very quick, and I could be looking at a serious October for you guys. This is a very serious situation right here. So I guess that's it. Bye.